Hi beautiful souls, it's Tan here again today with another video for you on this channel, and today I'm going to be walking you through some of the zodiac artwork that I've been doing just kind of in my spare time. And I've been doing it for, I've actually finished the whole 12 zodiac signs for quite a while now, and I really didn't know what to do with it, so it's just been kind of like there in my files. But over the past few weeks I finally decided what I'm going to be doing with it. And the first thing is going to be sharing it with you guys. So these zodiac images that I've created, it is made purely from my vision. Just kind of like I was going through this kind of Venusian phase, shall we say. I was getting like a little bit creative in my mind, and I had particular visions when I'm like in a relaxed state of mind about what I see each of the zodiac signs having and being like, and the things that represents each of the signs. And so I made them kind of like as an online collage. Yes, so let's get started. Let's have a look first at Aries. So this is going to be my vision of Aries, and in the Aries zodiac artwork, the color scheme is of course going to be that reddish orange, bright tone, kind of like very striking to represent the boldness of Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, being ruled by Mars. And the ancient symbol that I've used for Aries here is the iron symbol, which is classically known as the metal of Mars. And of course Aries is represented by the planet Mars, and this iron symbol is in the front of the planet Mars in this image. And the Aries woman, so she's like wearing white, which is a kind of a symbolism of purity, and there is that innocence and purity about Aries. But then again, she's like sitting on the top of this stone arc with a pyramid underneath. Kind of like this sloping upwards of the pyramid, I feel, is really a symbolism of the ambition that comes with the sign of Aries, the ability to pioneer and be at the top of whatever it is that they decide to do. She's got a pet, which is a white wolf, symbolizing, loyalty, courage, bravery, all these Aries qualities. And shall we say, spots of light glow that is coming from her forehead, and it's kind of going up to the sky, which I feel for me symbolizes the vision of Aries. When Aries has a vision or a goal, they aim towards it, and their visions and their goals are generally like really big. It's kind of like reaching for the sky, and they go straight towards that particular goal. So this is my artwork for the sign of Aries. Courage, instinct, pioneers. So moving on to the next zodiac sign, which is Taurus. Taurus, sensuality, values, abundance of spirit. So I've decided to choose a color tone for the sign of Taurus that is a little bit more subtle and a little bit feminine, pastel kind of colors, to kind of represent the fact that Taurus is ruled by Venus, and that's a really feminine sign. The Taurus artwork has the Taurus woman sitting on top of a flower, so she's kind of like really feminine, blooming. And this image is actually, I feel, has compositions that is kind of similar to the painting of Aphrodite or Venus, but in Aphrodite, she's coming out from the shell, but here she's coming out from the flower to kind of symbolize that blooming and fertility. So she's in a setting that encompasses both the water element and the earth element, which, the waterfall coming out of the structures of the earth, but then we've got water to symbolize that fertility, that abundance. The symbol that is being used in this artwork is the symbol of the spiral of life, or the triskelion symbol, which is a Celtic symbol that represents the three material existence of earth, water, and sky. But at the same so that kind of encompasses the totality of nature, earth, water, and sky, which is all about this Taurus energy, this fixed earth energy being this grounding energy of the actual earth. And this particular symbol also represents the womb. The 3 spirals have this womb-like appearance to it, but yet again, they're in movement: life, death, and rebirth. Birth is what I really feel. The fertility of the birth is what is represented by Taurus. So that is the symbol that I've used there. And the light that's coming out of this Taurus woman is coming from her throat, indicating that Taurus does rule the throat, represents the throat chakra. And so there is a expression and a voice that needs to be given, and she's really lighting up in her throat area. So yes, that is going to be my work for Taurus. Oh, and of course, we've got the planet Venus right at the top of the artwork. So next is going to be the artwork for the sign of Gemini. Adaptable ideas, unifying duality. Yes, I really feel that Gemini ultimately represents the unification of 2 different things and how they are connected. So in this artwork, I've used the color scheme that is a little bit of like a pale, bright baby blue to represent the air element of Gemini. There's, of course, the planet Mercury in the background, and the 2 women represents the twins of Gemini. They're kind of like the socialite, a bit of an elite type of a personality. They're drinking champagne, and they're sitting, and they're kind of like in a social, like they would be in a social setting. There are envelopes indicating the Gemini being this messenger, envelopes with specific messages that the Gemini carries. And the symbol being used in this artwork is the symbol of the flower of life, the sacred geometry. And I really like the idea that the idea of geometry requires us to use our logical mind, our rational mind, which is what Gemini rules. But at the same time, the using of this logical and rational mind helps us to see that geometry exists in all living beings, all living things, like the flower of life. This particular geometry exists in all living things, and therefore we are united. We're all connected. The flower of life being creation, being the blueprint of everything. And of course, the whole setting for this artwork is up in the clouds, indicating that the Gemini really rules the mind and kind of having these ideas that are up in the clouds and then trying to make them happen in reality and in the material world. So that is going to be my artwork for Gemini. So next up is Cancer, and this is my artwork for Cancer. The color scheme here is a little bit of this mysterious, darker tones of blue and purple. It still has a feminine tone to it, but it's more of like the female at night. So Cancer, imaginative, intuition, divine feminine. So Cancer is ruled by the moon. Therefore, the Cancer woman in this artwork is sitting on the crescent moon, and however, the moon is in water because Cancer rules the element of water, the emotions, and the intuition. So the moon is dipped in the water, and she's sitting on the moon, but she's got candles around her, which I feel I wanted it to kind of represent. You know, when you're doing magic and you need to light candles for certain rituals, that's what's like happening there in the picture. And the symbol that's being used here is the triquetra, or the triple moon symbol, which in paganism or in Wicca, which I feel that the Cancer energy has a lot to do with witchcraft and Wicca. And this symbol represents the 3 faces of the goddess, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And Cancer is one of, I feel, you know, Cancer is the sign that rules motherhood. And being a mother is one of the things that is the most potent when it comes to the difference between the biologically male and the biologically female. And that's all Cancer energy. So yes, that is going to be my artwork for Cancer. So next up, we have Leo. Leadership, joy, and self-expression. So for the artwork of Leo, I've used various playful color schemes here. There's a mix of that, you know, that fire energy of Leo, pink and orange, but also blues and greens to kind of give it this vibrant, energetic, colorful, playful type of an energy. So of course we've got the Leo woman, and you know, she's sitting like a queen. She's sitting on a sunflower that's made of diamonds. So I really feel that the Leo energy is, to me, this image is like she's the queen. She's the queen of the flowers. She's like a fairy queen of some sort. But you know, she's a queen with a lot of shine and radiance, like a sunflower and a diamond, and how they sparkle and shine, but at the same time there's so much quality in her. She's a woman of quality, of nobility, like a diamond that's been no longer in the rough, but has been crafted so beautifully. So she has a pet, which is a lynx, and I feel that this animal kind of gives this, not just the fact that she's fierce, but also independent, kind of does her own thing, and fierce, but also has a bit of a kitty cat. Like Leos have this kitty cat inside of them. On the surface, they may appear independent, but there's a part of them that's like, if you can get to their core, you know that they just want love, and they just want adoration, and they just want to have fun. And they want to make people, you know, get people to come along on their fun journeys. The symbol being used here is the symbol of the Mesopotamian sun god Shamash, and he's the god that brings light over darkness and evil. He rules justice, and he's like the governor of the universe. Yes, he's a god that bestows light and life, but he has an ethical, moral character. He behaves kind of like mortals would behave. And so I think that the most noble quality of the Leo is to have an ethical character with a lot of integrity, and that is what makes them great leaders. So that's going to be my interpretation of the Leo. So for the next zodiac, we have Virgo. Virgo, analytical, consciousness, relative truth. So I've got here this color tone of Virgo is an earth sign, so we have a little bit of this greenish blue tone, and the woman is sitting on a leaf. And what I wanted to show with this is that the woman is contemplative. She's thinking. She's thinking about the small details, because she's looking at a droplet that's coming out of a leaf, which is like so tiny and so small, but she's considering it. She's contemplative about these tiny, minute details in the bigger scheme of the cosmos, because we have the planet Mercury right at the back, and she is sort of up in the air, up in space as well. She's in the mind. So she's got a book next to her, and that's where her light is coming from. Her light is coming from her ability to use her mind and her knowledge. She's got a cat, which is her pet, and I chose the cat to be the pet of the Virgo woman because I feel the Virgo woman has a little bit of the personality of a cat, where she kind of does her own thing and seemingly kind of minds her own business and holds herself with elegance and grace, and is a little bit modest, but at the same time, Virgo ruling the 6th house. The 6th house rules daily routines, and esoterically I feel that Virgo rules the rituals that comes with magic. So the cat, but it should be the black cat, is what I feel is like the cat of the witch. And so that's why I've chosen this particular symbol for Virgo. And we've got behind her the mandala symbol. And mandala in Sanskrit means circle, and it's a representation of wholeness. It's cosmic and psychic order, but to use a mandala, you have to apply your concentration. And Virgo energy has a bit of an ability to have a restless mind, but at the same time, has the ability to direct that restless kind of like a mental energy that's always on into a meditative, contemplative state. If the Virgo archetypes directs their energy into that, I feel that they are able to understand deeper human consciousness, or even the elevation of the human consciousness to reveal the potential of the wholeness of the self. And the 6th house in Virgo energy rules the mind, body, soul connection. So we have the mind, which can be concentrated, but that also requires the concentration of the body to be still with the mind in order to understand or perceive truths about the soul. So that is my interpretation or my art for Virgo. So next up we have Libra. Relationships, justice, projection. Libra is of course an air sign, so therefore I've chosen the more bluish purple kind of tones, and there's going to be this feminine vibe to the Libra energy. But I put the Libra woman as sitting in ice because Libra energy has this ability to be objective, to detach from the subjectivity or too much passion of the opposite sign, which is Aries. It's all about passion. So the Libra energy has the ability to become somebody that offers justice to people through an ability to detach from the emotions, to operate from a place of balance, calm, weighing out pros and cons, and then offering justice in relationships and justice in the world in general through that energy. So she's a little bit cool. That's what I feel there. And of course, we've got Venus at the top of the picture, and then we've got the yin and yang symbol, which I feel is so resonating with the Libra energy, because you know, Libra ruling the 7th house, the 7th house being the house of the other, being the house of our shadow, being the house of ultimately the things that complement us. So the other, the shadow, is not just the opposite, but it's the opposite that offers a complementary balance. And that's what the Libra energy is all about, finding a complementary balance to the self. Yin and yang represents the forces that exist within all nature, that there is always going to be two opposing forces in everything. There's always going to be the more aggressive force and the passive force in everything that we do in life. When I'm not speaking, when I'm still, I'm in my yin energy, my feminine passive energy. When I am in my more assertive phase, I'm in my yang energy. So there's always yin and yang within all of us, especially when it comes to like Libra, biologically female Libra. She's always looking for a man who can be both a male and a female to her. Same with the Libra man. He's always looking for a woman who's going to be both masculine and feminine, to offer that balance to his masculine and feminine, which Libras can both identify with their masculine and feminine. So that's the magic of the Libra. And of course, she's holding a rose representing the more romantic side of Libra, or the need to seduce, charm others, be in relationships. And there is her reflection through the ice. And there's a butterfly in the reflection of the ice to represent the beauty that Libras sometimes don't really realize it in themselves, because there's so much focus on the other, and they project beauty onto other people and into the world and things around them. But if only they could see the beauty that they already have inside of them, they could become completely transformed. So that is going to be my interpretation and my artwork of Libra. So with the next artwork, we have Scorpio. Willful, transformation, mystery. So of course, the color scheme of Scorpio is going to be a little bit darker, and I've decided to put the Scorpio woman in a cave. She's in space, she's part of the cosmos, but she has her own darker cave where she can let out her shadow, her dark side. And you know, there's a skull there, and the roses, which if you notice are different from the colors of the roses and all the other artwork, because these are dead roses. And there's a skull there to show that, you know, she has this really deep understanding of life and death. And she's got light coming from her lips to show that she's a keeper of secrets. When you tell a Scorpio a secret, it never gets told, it never gets revealed. So she's the keeper of the secrets, but at the same time the keeper of the mysteries, the occult, human psychology, and all the things that are taboo and hidden. She can say it, but she doesn't have to. And she's sitting in a flame, a purple flame, with the wings of a phoenix, indicating, and what I wanted to indicate with this is that she's rising, of course, from the ashes. She's gone through immense transformation that is coming from fire, like the Promethean fire. There's life that comes after the transformation, and it's new life that springs forth. And these transformations that she's going through, these changes is happening, these life, birth, death cycles is happening in that space of her cave, where not everybody's going to be able to connect with, not everybody's going to be able to see, but it's happening. And of course, I've decided to use the pentagram symbol, which is used quite often in Wicca to represent occult and magic. But of course, the pentagram symbol symbolizes the 4 elements of earth, which is, earth, water, fire, and air, and how we can use the spiritual to influence the physical. And that is the unity of doing magic, is to find the spirit in nature and the physical. So that's going to be my artwork for Scorpio. So next up we have Sagittarius. So for the colors tone for Sagittarius, I've decided to use a bit of orange to symbolize the fire that rules the sign of Sagittarius, but I wanted to add a bit of blue to it because blue, like the sky, symbolizing the freedom of the spirit of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, expansive, seeker, faith. So the Sagittarius woman is sitting on the top of a cliff. She's looking ahead of her. We don't know where she's looking at, but she has a goal and she has a vision. And of course, Sagittarius is the archer. So she's an archer and she's aiming for her goal. And there's a planet Jupiter behind her to show that she's got the expansion on her side, the expansion of all things that she needs to do in order to get to that one goal. Her pet is the birds, but specifically the eagle, because the eagle has that vision. The eagle soars above everyone, above the world, and aims for what it wants to get. There is a ancient doorway behind her, because Sagittarius also is very knowledgeable, and they are those who seek. Sometimes it can even be ancient knowledge, divine knowledge, any types of knowledge. So, and the symbol that I decided to use for Sagittarius is the Merkaba symbol, because the Merkaba symbol is made up of tetrahedrons, which are the and that actually represents the fire element. It represents personal power, acceptance, but also stability, because no matter which direction you're looking at the tetrahedron from, it's always the same. So it does show power that brings stability. It has a lot to do with energy work, and so when we put them together into a Merkaba symbol, this is representing the pure use of power and potential power that can be used for the pursuit of connection and the pursuit of personal growth. So that is my interpretation of my artwork for Sagittarius. So next up, we have the sign of Capricorn. Recognition, wisdom, man-made laws. So the first thing I wanted to show with Capricorn is that I wanted the color tone to be as less frivolous and less flowery as possible, because Capricorn energy is really all about the necessities, the practicalities, and sometimes doing the dirty work or the hard work, the difficult work, rather than trying to do all the unnecessary fluffy stuff. But yet Capricorn is ruled by the earth element, so then she's of course got this green in the background, and the planet Saturn, which rules Capricorn, is in the background. And the Capricorn woman here is standing on the top of the mountain. She's at the peak of the mountain, but it's a desolate mountain because it's really hard to climb. And she got there all by herself. And I really like her posture, that she's kind of like this independent woman. I got to the top of the mountain, I got my ambition, I got where I needed to go. And of course, her pet is the owl, the animal that holds so much wisdom. And because Capricorn is the sign that represents karma, when you are able to work through your karma, you come out of it with so much wisdom. And of course, she's got the Buddhist symbol of the wheel of life behind her, the wheel of law and karma. And so there are particularly 8 sectors of this wheel, and the 8 sectors in Buddhism is represented by the Noble Eightfold Path, which includes right view, right intention, and that is considered wisdom, right speech, right action, right livelihood, which represents morality, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, which represents concentration or sort of meditation. And these 3 things together in Buddhism, if you could cultivate it daily in your life, can allow you to reach enlightenment, or the Bodhi, which is enlightenment, the understanding of the universal truths. What I really like about the man-made laws that I wrote here for Capricorn is that man-made laws are necessary, and without man-made laws, we'd have a very chaotic world. But when you fully understand man-made laws, it's like the Capricorn energy that is like the guardian of all these man-made laws, and within that, you know how you can branch yourself out of the man-made laws a little bit. But we still need these man-made laws to be in this physical world, so we don't have chaos and immoral behavior that are being imposed. So that is going to be my artwork for Capricorn. So next up, we have the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So of course, Aquarius being an air sign, I've wanted to infuse the color scheme of the blues, but yet I want it to be a little bit more shocking and striking, because that's Aquarius energy, striking. So of course, this Aquarius woman is sitting at the North Pole. She's holding the earth in her hands, because Aquarius really represents the activists, the revolutionaries, the people who want to fight for the earth. And of course, she's sitting on, an iceberg, a piece of iceberg, showing that she is the advocacy for the environment. But she's also holding the earth in her hands. So she's the advocacy for the environment, but the people. She's a humanitarian, and she wants to save the world. So she's holding the world in her hands in that sense. And of course, the planet Uranus is behind her, along with a lightning bolt that is striking down onto her head, and the symbol of the crown chakra. She's receiving epiphanies and insights and breakthroughs with regards to the universal knowledge that can link her to the divine. So the crown chakra symbol represents the ascension of the mind. When it comes to your neurological pathways, your emotional stability, your spiritual growth, your understanding and inspiration. And of course, I decided to add a bit of cactus. You can see in the background there's a cactus there, where it shouldn't be, in the North Pole. It's too cold to have cactus there. But that is the Aquarius energy. It is to do something when nobody is expecting it. It is to do something that's totally eccentric for the purpose of authentic self-expression and higher ideals. So that's the Aquarius energy. Individualistic, humanitarian, breakthroughs. So last but not least, we have the zodiac sign of Pisces, and it is starting to rain. Not sure if you guys can see that or hear that, but yes. So Pisces, enigmatic connection, absolute truth. So with the Pisces energy, this Pisces woman is of course underwater. Pisces is the deepest of the ocean and the water, where there are creatures there that can only be found sometimes just in your imagination or in your fantasy, because you don't know what's there. When you don't really know what's there in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, we begin to use our imagination or fantasy. Of course, the planet Neptune is behind her, and this woman is her pet is the whale. And she's sort of like drowning a little bit in the depths of the ocean, and it's a little bit chaotic there, but she's coming out of a shell which has a pearl. You know, Venus, the planet Venus, is exalted in the sign of Pisces, and so therefore the painting of Venus is a woman, Aphrodite, coming out of a shell. So she has a little bit of that element of coming out of this shell, and she's a pearl. You know, the Pisces energy, once the Pisces energy can navigate the deepest, darkest water, they find their pearl. Innocence, purity, compassion, gentleness, beauty there. And the symbol that I've decided to use with the Pisces artwork is under the shell, is the unicursal hexagram, which it's a unicursal hexagram because it can be drawn without having to lift your hand. You can connect all the lines together. And the reason for this is because when you're doing ritual magic, you have to be able to make movements where there's a connection, and you don't have to disconnect your hand. And so that's why this particular symbol is used a lot in ritual magic. But at the same time, this symbol is made of the hexagram and the pentacle. The pentacle connecting with the hexagram shows the microcosmic forces being interweaved and connected to the macrocosmic forces, which is all Pisces energy. It's that connection between the microcosm and the macrocosm. And this particular symbol is also telling us that everyone is a star, that love is the law, because love is union. That's going to be my artwork for Pisces. Yes. So, beautiful souls, if you like this artwork, you know, do comment below, let me know what you think about it. But they are also for sale on my website. I'll provide a link to that in the description box below. They come as canvas prints in various different sizes. They also come as a pillow case and as a bag. And I'm gonna show you guys that right now because I have these particular products with me. This is the bag. It's a canvas bag, kind of like this. And I've got the Aries one on here, just as an example for you guys. It prints like this. It's really, really beautiful. I mean, I printed this for myself because I wanted to see what it would look like. And I just thought it was like, wow, it's just glittering. Yeah. And of course, if you go to the website, it will ask you to choose whether you would like to have a description. And the description will say the whole thing. It will say Aries, pioneering, independent, or whatever it is that Aries says, courageous. Or you can choose without the print. So it will come with just the photo on it. And this is the pillowcase. Yes, guys, it's this luxury, lush type of fabric. And this is the Virgo. You can also, of course, choose for the pillowcase if you would like to have the writing, the description on it, or no description as well. And this is really, really pretty. And I mean, when you see the artwork as a collection, I think it's just really beautiful. Like the colors just kind of really go together, kind of like that. So yes. For the pillow, if you get the pillowcase, it also comes with, so it's a pillowcase that you can like open it see. But it also comes with the actual pillow cushion inside for you as well, so you don't already need to have a pillow with that particular size. It comes with the actual pillow. And the canvas also, you can also choose whether you want the description or no description as well. So yeah, the shipping locations, it's indicated on the website. For the bag, I ship to all locations around the world, but for the pillow and the canvas, there are specific locations that I just can't ship to. So you can check that out on the website as well. But yes, so that's it for today's video, beautiful souls. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And of course, I also do natal chart readings, synastry, relationship readings. If you are interested in human design or the gene keys, you can email me and I can try to incorporate them into the readings for you, because I currently don't yet have those services, but I will do in the near future. So yes, and that's it. See you soon, beautiful souls. Bye.